Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and the Frankie Smith Funeral Home.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. I'm your host, Paul Jasson. Thank you for joining us. We have a fun show today. We'll talk about some events that are exciting, always fun to have. We'll talk about one of the kind of hidden gems in Lancaster and Fairfield County, Geneva Hills, a great camping place, a great place for young people to go camping and have a great summer activity going on. That'll be in the second half of the show. But again, as we move into this springtime of the year, one of the events that we always talk about is always the buzz around the neighborhood is the old car show out at the Lancaster Fairgrounds. And this year is no different. It's the 56th annual Spring Festival Car Show and Swap Meet. 56 years. That kind of knocked me out when I heard that. It's something that I almost remember my whole life is going out there and seeing that. It's you just hope for a beautiful day, but it's always so well attended and such a neat day out there just to see the history of cars and lots of other things too. Pleasure to have with me to talk about that today, Dave Ray. Dave is the president of the Old Car Club, and 56 years. You must have started as a baby, Dave.
Well, I haven't been around here quite all that time, but I have been since the 80s. So.
Wow. And what would you decide? Like 64 was the first old car show?
64 was the very first.
And you think you might have gone to that one?
I'm sure I was.
Yeah, and probably all the ones since then.
Steam engines out beside of the old log cabin.
I remember that. You would drive by on Fair Avenue, and back those days, my dad drove me by, but we would drive by, and then they would have several steam engines. You'd see those things and hear them going on right there. That was just a good thing to think of and boy, the place was packed.
Right.
Yeah. So 56 years. And I'm sure this is a singular event of the Old Car Club. This is really your deal.
It is our deal. It's what we gear the whole year towards. But we do take tours and things with our club members, and we go to different car shows, try to be a good representative of our own show at their shows, and we have a lot of fun together.
Well, and I'll tell you again, just to remind you that it's down at the fairgrounds, and it's this Saturday at the Fairfield County Fairgrounds. Free to the general public. Parking is $5, but you can walk in for free.
That's correct.
That's a good deal.
That's correct, and it's a great family thing because you can load up the kids and the neighbors and everybody, and you get a car full.
Hide a couple in the trunk if you want. Yeah, nobody's going to check them out.
It's not like it used to be at the drive-in. You don't have to hide.
If you go to the Skyview or the city, you can kind of hide in there, pop out. Mom and Dad let you pop out. But again, when you think about it, and pretty much the whole fairgrounds is geared to this. We'll talk about other things going on, but again, it is truly a family day. It doesn't have to be just Dad looking at cars. There's a lot more than that.
Not only that, but there's something there for the ladies too. We have what we call the women's world, and that is Avon type things and jewelry and all that sort of thing that in a building that's well protected and so forth, so on. So there's something for everybody, and we have our swap meet too. And in the swap meet, sometimes there's some antiques and things like that for the ladies as well.
Looks like things get underway about 8 o'clock. Cars get started being registered at 8 in the morning.
Correct.
Right. And that goes on till noon. You can register till noon. And I see
sometimes we'll slip a few in extra past noon.
You guys get the cars down there.
If there's a big crowd or whatever.
You. But, boy, you look at that, you got the swap meet, and that's all day, 8 to 5. And now, that's one thing we should mention, that it's this Saturday, June 1st, but it's one day. And as I remember, that's a bit different from what we've had in the past. And maybe as far back as I can remember, it was the weekend. It was Saturday, Sunday. So this year, just Saturday.
That's correct. It's the first time it's a new departure for us, something we're trying.
Sure.
Something we're trying to change with the times, so to speak. Most other car shows are just one-day event. And in the past, we're still going to have all the same events that we have had in the 2 days. We'll just squeeze it all in. We're going to have the cruise in and all the cruise in, the music and all that sort of thing. We're going to have the car judging as well. Judging this year will be a little bit different. Instead of in classes as we have in the past. This year we're doing the top 50. So they'll still be judged, the cars will, but it'll be the top 50. And
yeah, we'll get a shot of the trophy right here. That's a pretty cool looking trophy. So there'll be 50 of these trophies handed out to the top 50 cars, not 3 in a class or certain in a class. So just if the top 50 cars, whatever they are, they win.
That's correct.
Nice.
And as in the past, we don't want just all hot rods. We don't just want all old cars. We want it all, including motorcycles, even bicycles, if that would be the case. And everybody has an opportunity to win one of those trophies.
That's nice. That's nice. And I just know even if you're going to the fairgrounds or going by the fairgrounds on Fair Avenue, and you go by there and you see whatever happens to be near the fence, whether it's Mustangs or Corvettes or muscle cars or old Model A's, whatever it is, they have the hoods up and stuff. You almost rear end somebody on Fair Avenue. I know that because you want to look in there and see what's going on. It's a sight to behold.
I think that has happened a few times.
I wouldn't be surprised at that because with the crowds in there, you hope for a day like this. As we're taping today, it's a beautiful day. So I hope this Saturday is this nice. But if
we'll
it
say
is,
a big prayer up to the man upstairs on that one.
And it's interesting, I guess that's all part of having an event like this. Sometimes you have to change, you have to try new things.
That's right.
Trying a trophy like that for the top 50 cars, not a couple in a class.
Right.
Every car is eligible for that, so you're trying that, and then one day. So I guess these are experimental things just to see how the public reacts.
That's right, and there are so many events going on. Back in the day when we had our 2-day event and in the early years, we were like one of the premier shows practically in the state.
Early on.
And nowadays, there's something going on, sometimes 2 and 3 a weekend someplace, cruise-ins and that sort of thing.
Harder to get.
So what we're trying to do is gear towards that so everybody has an opportunity maybe to go someplace else on Sunday, or enjoy a time with their family as well.
Maybe they could hit 2 shows in a weekend.
That's right, absolutely.
And I will say this, my neighbor, Carl Tripp, has a 64.5 Mustang, and it's restored, navy blue with a white top, white interior, sharp. It's sharp. And you open up his trunk, got a trunk load of trophies. Maybe none as nice as ours right here today, but some of these cars are, the work that's been done to restore them I don't think some of them look this good the day they rolled off the floor. They look perfect.
Some of them look better than the day they
I
rolled
think
off
so.
the floor.
I think so.
Especially when you get into the Model A's and you get to people, Model A's, Model T's, the guys get, they're perfectionists about it.
Yeah.
And those cars were just mass produced back in the day.
Sure.
They might have had a run or two in them when they came from the factory.
They all look alike. They're all black.
Yeah, the Model T's were. Yeah,
they're all black. And so the categories can just be, you like to have the old cars, you like to have just anybody that's got a car that is qualified for an old car, you want them there.
That's another thing that we're seeing less and less of this day and age. I guess maybe some people think that it's a little dangerous to get the older cars out on the freeway and so forth, but we really encourage people to bring the old ones out. Not that that's a requirement by any means, but we are the Lancaster Old Car Club.
For a reason.
And for a reason.
You're not the Muscle Car Club, you're not the Mustang Club.
Or the Street Rod Club
Yes.
or something like that. However, we don't discriminate against any of that.
Sure.
We encourage anybody to join our club with that type of a thing because we just enjoy old cars.
No, well, tell us about that, about your club a little bit. How often do you meet? When do you meet? And how do you get in it?
We meet once a month. You can see anybody on the grounds that they'll be wearing a shirt that says Lancaster Old Car Club on the back.
Okay.
And approach any member and our only requirement is that you own an automobile that's 15 years old or older.
Okay.
Now, there's plenty of cars still running around, and that makes them affordable because the old ones are getting pretty pricey these days. But it was 1 and 15 years old. You can afford to get into to the hobby and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Have a good time with us.
Yeah, and maybe you're just getting into it, and it doesn't have to be in mint condition. You don't have
Absolutely
to
not.
bring a restored Mustang down there. You could have just maybe bought this, and you're going to start the process, and it's probably unbelievable what somebody like that could learn by being in your show and talking to other people who've been through this.
You know, and quite frankly, the cars nowadays, they're called survivors. There's more appreciation for cars that show a little wear
Yeah.
on the interior and
Yeah.
a little wear on the exterior, but they've survived. They haven't been restored.
Yeah, you don't put them in a garage and just pull them out once a year for the old car club. Yeah. Now, what do you own?
I own a 1937 Studebaker and a 1929 Model A Ford.
Is it a Hawk?
The Studebaker, no, the 37 Studebaker is actually a Dictator. And that was the last year of the Dictators, because after that it wasn't politically correct to call a car a Dictator. And the Dictator became the Commander.
Yes. So it became more politically correct to say Commander. It's amazing,
Exactly.
even back then, things were, yeah.
Yeah, you consider the times in 1937, just prior to the Second World War, you know.
How long have you owned that?
I've had that about 20 years.
Oh, so you've
Yeah.
done a lot of the work, a lot of the
Yeah,
blood, sweat, and
in the
tears
early-
on it.
In the early times, I was fortunate to get a rust-free car. That particular car, I'm pretty sure, was sold here in Lancaster.
Okay.
And so it's been a Lancaster car all of its life. And we're having a lot of fun with it. It's a good, dependable driver.
And you take it out more than just one time a year?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun to drive,
It's
isn't
been
it?
to South Bend, Indiana. 'Cause
Really?
that was the home of Studebakers, South Bend, Indiana. It's been there 3 times.
I bet you can't even think of how many times you drive that down the street and every person stops and looks when they see that. I think
Yeah.
that I've heard, I won't be the person that said this, but I've heard that a car like that will turn ahead faster than a pretty girl.
I'll leave. You said it, I didn't.
Don't shoot the messenger. But when you see a car, even an old car, I see Pete Vandervoort drive his around, and some of the older cars around. It's remarkable when you see cars like that are still on the road today. They still drive them.
The great part about the old Studebaker is, not to toot its own horn, but it's got overdrive, so I can take it down the highway 65 miles an hour with no problem at all in 1937.
V8?
Straight 6.
Straight 6.
Yeah.
That was the thing back then.
But the overdrive helps a whole
Yeah,
lot.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 56th annual Spring Festival Car Show and Swap Meet. People just drive up that morning, get registered, Saturday morning, July 1st,
Yes,
this
we
Saturday.
do have early registration available, but of course at this point,
Yeah.
that's a moot point.
Yeah, you're
But
getting a little beyond that.
Yeah. But just come in that morning and register, and
Got
we can
food
take care
down
of it.
there, everything there. Got
Plenty of
food
food,
trucks,
good,
okay.
good food vendors.
It's really a family time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Family
So bring
time
the whole
for
family. It doesn't have to be just Dad looking in the trunk of a 56 Chevy down there and saying, "Boy, I used to own one of these." It's something for Mom and the kids, and it's a great history lesson for
That's
young
right.
people too. It's nice to see young people out there and sort of see this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dave Ray, who's president of the Lancaster Old Car Club, been there for a while. Owns a vintage Studebaker himself, and again the trophy that. We've had a shot of here today. It's going to be to the top 50 cars. So, gosh, a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. 56th annual. Gosh, it's going strong. We hope for a beautiful Saturday. Just one day this year, so you got to get out there on Saturday. It all begins at. Can people come in at 8 o'clock or?
Oh yes,
8
absolutely.
o'clock. Cars will start coming in. People can come in.
They come in before that if they want.
Yeah, and it's free to get in. Just $5 for a carload of people. However you pack them in there, Dave says, just bring them in. We're glad to have them. So it's this Saturday, July 1st. So good luck on that day. We appreciate
it's
you
been a
stopping
pleasure.
by. Always fun to talk about the Old Car Club and the Old Car Show coming up this Saturday. We'll be back just a moment.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster or 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Thank David Ray for being here from the Old Car Club. Dave's the president of that. They've got the big Old Car Club show coming up this Saturday, July 1st. Looking forward to that. We'll talk a little bit about Geneva Hills, another fun place to be in the spring and into the summertime as we move into that time of the year in just a moment. I want to thank the good folks here at Fairfield Federal. Again, we do our show from downtown at the big lobby right here, kind of behind the bandstand. Most people familiar with that, with Fairfield Federal here. We're not that far in the future now. The Lancaster Festival will be going on. So many of the events will happen right here behind us at the bandstand and downtown with the art walk and everything. We're kind of right on the edge of that. Of course, Fairfield Federal is all involved with that art walk. They always have a nice paintings here and just a lot of art here as the Fairfield County Lancaster Festival gets underway. It's always an exciting time. So remember the other locations too. They're over on West Fair, at the corner of Fair and Pierce Avenue, and then up at Cross Creeks Boulevard in Pickerington. You can look them up at fairfieldfederal.com, and now is a time when maybe people are starting to think about, well, maybe we move, maybe we need a bigger house, maybe we're looking to downsize. Whatever your need is, fairfieldfederal.com is a good place to start. They have lots of banking answers to questions you may have right there, and if they can't answer it on the website, they certainly have phone numbers of local people that you can call at any of the 3 branches that will help you make any of the decisions, whether it's personal banking or business banking. Internet banking is the big hoo-ha right now, and they certainly handle that. So fairfieldfederal.com, that's a good place to start. Look them up, find out. Great website, lots of information for you there, fairfieldfederal.com. And we mentioned that Geneva Hills is a subject of our topic here. We have Abby Rogers with us. Abby, thank you.
No problem.
And this is, is this your first TV interview since you've been here?
It sure is.
It sure is, and you are handling it gracefully and wonderfully.
Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to that. Abby is relatively new to Geneva Hills, and you're from up around the northern part of the state?
Yep, Akron-Canton area.
Akron-Canton area. Okay, well, good to have you down here. You're at Geneva Hills, and again, and you're somebody that's worked in camps and understands camps and the background of that. What a fabulous location, and how beautiful is Geneva Hills?
Yes, it's very expansive. We have 350 acres, and there's just mountains and trees, and when you're there, you feel like you've escaped and you found this just beautiful oasis, kind of. It
is amazing out there, and it's a great location. You can look up genevahills.com. All that information is available on their website as well. We'll talk about several different things, but I guess the thing that caught my eye first was your summer camping, and that's going to start up here in just a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
The first camp is, June 10th is the first camp, so coming up pretty quickly. Camps run, campers need to be, 2 to 7 grades, and grades 2 to 7?
Yeah, it's not as too strict as long as they're kind of potty trained and able to stay away for the
All right.
week.
And then the camps run 9 to 3 each day, and the first camp is June 10th to the 14th. Again, all the information we'll be talking about is on Geneva Hills website, camp at the @ genevahills.com. It's all there. And golly, when I was looking at the things you're going to do here, and you're involved with developmental disabilities, so you can handle that too. I mean, this is really a camp that's made for all kids. I looked at the things you do down there: hiking, canoeing, crafts, science, swimming, lots of water activities down there. They've got a great pool and everything. It's just beautiful down there. Lots of games. Golly, it could be a fun time for a young person.
Absolutely, yeah.
What's your favorite event?
My personal favorite is canoeing. We have a decent-sized lake out there, and so in addition to the swimming and all the water activities on those hot summer days, canoeing is just a fun way to just kind of see the sights and, yeah.
And I know you've got accredited counselors and people down there.
Oh, yeah.
And again, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a place I think of as kind of a hidden gem. I mean, it's been around forever and ever. Everybody has heard of Geneva Hills. I'm not sure everybody's been out there, but if anybody, again, go on the website, you can look, but you can certainly take a drive down. What's the location?
It is 1380 Blue Valley Road, and it's in Lancaster. And yeah, another cool thing that people don't really think about is, like, in addition to the summer camps, we're also open year-round. So that's church retreats, that's like women's ministry coming together for a luncheon.
Right.
We have a lot of cool resources out there. So we have a great venue. Some people have weddings there. It's just a really beautiful piece of property.
And I think a lot of people, and maybe that's what they think of. They think of camp. They think of a summer camp. Maybe they went there as a young person because it was involved with the church many years ago. But there are things all year round, even to the winter, places to stay, places to go there, a lot of events. And so I guess just what's your camp at genevahills.com. What's your phone number? Do you know that?
It is 740-746-8439.
Got a nice Sugar Grove number right there. That's pretty good.
That's
that you got that right there. So the first camp is coming up June 10th to the 14th, and they've got them in June and July, and they've got different times, and all the information's on the website. Need to get the kids registered and get them squared away.
Yeah, so if you go to the website, you can download, it's a PDF, just download it, fill it out, and mail it out to us. So we have the day camp, which runs, I think you mentioned 9 to 3.
Right.
And then we also offer an overnight camp. So all you parents out there who just need a break, go ahead and just ship your kids over to us. They'll be in good hands.
Yeah, that's great. So again, just go at camp@genevahills.com or give them a call. They're a great place, 746-8439. So we'll talk about the camp again, all the things you can do, and all the fun you can have out there. Pools, again, lakes. I mean, just everything to keep a kid occupied and have a great time. Now, we started out by talking about the summer camp, but you talk about the other things that Geneva Hill does. If you had to think of what is the vision for Geneva Hills, what would you have that be?
I just think when you enter the camp, my first impression is it's a very safe place, and it's a place of acceptance. And so, like, us partnering with the developmental disabilities, like, that's a big thing because
they're a great
it doesn't
group.
matter. When you're at camp, you can feel as if there are no limitations, that everyone can participate in anything. And so I think that's a really big part of who we are as a camp, just welcoming and making sure that everyone has a spot, everyone's included and fitting in.
And that's really what developmental disabilities, no limits. Just because you perhaps have this disability, that doesn't limit you on what kind of great fun you could have at this camp. Yeah, bring them down anyway. Have a great time, facilities down there, you got lots of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah. Tons of land, tons of activities. It's pretty hard to get bored being there.
Don't get bored. If you go to Geneva Hills, you'll have fun nonstop.
That's right.
By the time you're ready for bed, you're ready for bed.
Oh, you're ready for bed.
And I know you always need volunteers. There are things that nonprofits always need. They always need volunteers. They always need people to work, perhaps paid staff, counselors. There are lots of things that adults can get, or even young people who are of a certain age. You could use those folks down there?
We sure could. Yeah, if you want to visit our website, if you feel like you have a free week or a day or something, we can get you screened, background checked, and we'd love to plug you in any type of way.
So how does funding, and we didn't talk about the camp, but is that $200 is the fee for the camp?
That's for our day camp, yeah.
For the day camp, okay. So to bring a kid in, if you want to get them, that's part of the fee that...
Right. We also are blessed enough to have no child left behind policy. So if someone can't afford camp, then we just take it upon ourselves as the camp to go ahead and bite that cost and say, you know what, it's more important that you experience this week, that you establish relationships and friendships and get closer to God and nature than it is for you to be able to pay the cost. And so that happens more often than not, that someone's not able to pay the full price or maybe not able to pay at all. So then, like you said, the hard part is the funding, and because we aren't making money, but we do need to be able to continue to supply the camp.
Support what's there. Yeah.
So we are able to stay afloat by very generous donations, and we also have bingo on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So little things like that help us stay afloat and be able to just kind of reach out to those families who are in a greater need financially and let them still come to camp.
Talking with Abby Rogers of Geneva Hills down there, talking about really all things Geneva Hills, but about the summer camp that will be coming up here in a couple weeks. Again, numbers you can call on that would be the, I guess they have an 800 number, 855-MY-GENEVA. You can call that. Or you can call 746-8439. Or on the website, if you have the electronic capability, camp at genevahills.com. Good interactive website, got all the information. Again, it's got the applications
Yep.
that people can fill out, just get them to you like that and send them in and get registered. This will be your first camp here, right?
It will be, yeah. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting down there. Gosh, I just know with the pool and with everything down there, I know it's highly structured, the things you do, but you get down there and it's just, wow, there's just so much to do down there. It's an amazing place. I think as somebody that works down there and looks at this, gosh, when these kids come in, their eyes are going to be bugged out.
They're going to be like, what do we do first?
And that's what you'll do to show them that down there. So is this something you got into high school or college that kind of led you into the camping world to help young people?
Yeah, actually, just being a part of camp myself, like as a younger
so that
camper,
experienced you.
And just having counselors who wanted to get to know me and love on me and show me like a great example of what a Christian like man or woman looks like, and just striving for that. So then in turn wanting to be a counselor myself, and now entering this role at Geneva Hills where I kind of get to help lead some things, so it's exciting.
Well, it's going to be great fun for you down there, you and your staff, and gosh, it's an exciting time. Here we are on the cusp of another year. The applications are rolling in now, so I'd say get them in now, and get the kids registered down there. And again, if money is an issue, you can certainly talk to the camp and the folks down there at Geneva Hills, and that can be worked out too, because again, as Abby said, no child left behind. And you partner with Developmental Disabilities, and they're a wonderful organization here in town. I'm sure you see the good work they do, and probably get a lot of their kids over to your camp.
We sure do.
Yeah. Well, camping is great fun in the summer. Kids are so fortunate they're able to do that. So best of luck at Geneva Hills.
Yes.
Abby Rogers going to be working her first camp come up just a couple of weeks in June here. And again, you can go on their website. You can go on the search engine Geneva Hills, and it's got there. Have a great website. A lot of information on the website. How you register kids, how you do it. You would invite certainly people to come down and give them tours and let them see what's going on down there. There's just so much to see down there. I think a lot of people don't realize how much beautiful activities can be handled at Geneva Hills. So good luck down there, Abby. It's going to be a great summer. Good luck in June or July. And that's our show on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and the Frankie Smith Funeral Home.